We're live, baby. Episode 18, MMA Gossip, back in your life. You guys know the usual. Like, comment, subscribe. Been getting a lot of traction on YouTube, so we really appreciate it. At MMA X Gossip on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, the whole nine. If you haven't realized, we got a fourth man in the booth. I mean, if you listen to the podcast, I'm sure you know who he is. If you don't, he's 3-0 in the UFC, 4-0 if you count Contender Series. It's Brendan All In Allen taking the middleweight division by storm. How's it going, bro? How you doing?
Doing good, man. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
It's a pleasure having you here. I gotta say, personally, I'm one of the biggest fanboys for like the past, 5 or 6 months. I had Twitter wars with people that were like all against you, and I was just like, you don't understand. This guy's offensive wrestling and grappling is just way too much. So I'm a little bit as a fanboy right now. Appreciate you being on the show, man. And
Yeah, man. Thanks. I appreciate the support for sure, man. I really appreciate that.
How you feeling injury-wise? How's the recovery going? I saw your Brian Butler had said you might make a comeback at 205 potentially. How you feeling in general?
I'm good, man. There's never been any pain. It was just a little bit of swelling. It went away by Wednesday after the fight. Then it was a little discoloration till like the following Saturday. So no pain, though. Never had any pain. It's just letting it heal. I don't have anything pain-wise now for those injuries. So yeah, it's going good now. It's just about healing up and waiting. But as far as weight, we'll just see. Tough weight cuts. The weight cuts are always tough. But I'm just gonna lift and do whatever I want to do and eat clean starting next week. And whatever I come back at, we'll see what I sit at and see how much weight I have to cut and what division I should go into. So not really sure right now in division. I mean, I'm still thinking 85, but we'll see.
Gotcha, man. So, say just hypothetically, you're coming back at 85. What's more important to you? Is it avenging those guys like Daukaus, or is it, getting into the top 15 and finally getting that fight with Ethan Heinisch?
looks like we're having a little bit of audio issues right here.
Yeah, man, coming back, it's really see any of my losses in my sure. Oh, give me 1 second. This valley right here. Kind of
no worries, man. No worries. Yeah, we hear you now.
Okay. So I mean, coming back, anybody in the top 15. I guess if I had to fight anybody outside the top 15, I guess the only one that would be worth it would be probably Jocko, because he was in the top 15 and then he went out of the top 15. So I think he's kind of the only one that's worth it outside of the top 15. But top 15 is 100% where my focus is.
Yeah, that's interesting because, he's got that really strong grappling background too. So that'd be a clash of styles right there, right off the bat. Interesting. I had an interesting question about your 3 UFC fights thus far. The Breeze fight went pretty quickly, and so did the Collins fight. And Daukaus, based on viewing, seemed to be the toughest, fight so far in the UFC. Would you agree?
Might have lost him.
Yeah, it's possible we might have lost him. Looks like it keeps trying to reconnect.
Yeah. I think he's coming back now. There we go.
Sorry, that one spot, man. That one spot.
No.
Anyway, I'm sorry. What were you saying?
I was saying, based on my, viewer's eyes or a fan's eyes, it looked like Kyle Daukaus was your toughest fight so far in the UFC. Would you agree?
I think he was a tough guy. I think I just I don't think I did what I needed to do. I didn't do what I trained to do. I just, for some reason, I thought that I would just put him away with one punch. And that's in 2020. I never think that going into fights. I always plan to touch until they fall. But I don't know. For some reason, something just got in my head, especially when I watched him fight, and he just pitter-pat people. And it's almost like a slap. I figured I'd just eat it and give him something back even harder. That was my whole goal. and that was the opposite of what we trained and what I trained for the 3 weeks leading into the Ian fight and that fight. So I just didn't follow. If I would have touched and put together my combinations, I would have slept him. I truly believe that. I put him pretty much to sleep almost twice. So once with a knee that was in the temple, if it would have hit the chin, he would have been out. And, I did it again. I just didn't have enough time.
I thought he was out when you hit him with that. I jumped out of my seat. I was positive he was done.
Yeah, man. Probably about 5 more seconds, and that would have been game over. He was done.
Yeah, a lot of my friends were happy after that fight because on our podcast we all do we make 3 picks and then we do a lock and an underdog. So I had you as my lock of the night, and a lot of my friends were happy men after that night. A lot of them made some good money, so they appreciate you for that.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Yeah, man. It was a frustrating one. It's still frustrating, just to me, the fight, and I guess I'm just more frustrated at the fact that 1, I didn't finish him, and I know I could. And 2 beings is that I just took the foot off of the gas and got a couple cracks, and it's all my fault. I feel like any kind of good position that he may have had, or any good thing that he did, I gave it to him. He didn't earn it or anything like that. I gave it to him, and that's kind of where my frustration lies. The first 2 rounds, I was just trying to finish him. I didn't care if going for a finish was going to get me in a bad position, so I was just trying to finish. And but obviously I reversed every time. So those are the only reasons he got the good positions in the first and second round, was me trying to finish. I could have laid on him. I could have just held position, but I know nobody wants to watch that. It's boring. It's boring to me, let alone a fan, So that's kind of my outlook. And then obviously the third, I just was being lazy. That's what it comes down to, just being lazy.
I mean, do you think how was the experience with the smaller cage and the lack of fans? Did that play any role, you think, at all, or is just out of sight, out of mind once you're in there?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think of fans. I don't hear the fans when I'm fighting. I don't hear any of that. I try to cut them out as soon as I walk out. And then after the fight, I kind of take it in. But that's kind of one of the reasons I always look at the cage when I'm walking out, and I always look at the screens when they're announcing our names. I don't focus on anything else.
I'm sure fighting on the Contender Series probably helped you with that anyway. I mean, you said you don't listen to the fans, but the lack of fans there in the Contender Series probably somewhat beneficial,
I never really heard the fans, so for the fans portion, it didn't have a problem with it at all. I wasn't concerned. The smaller cage, I mean, I fought in the lower promotions, but then I just had the 2 fights in the big cage. So, but honestly, the cage never really plays a deficit or anything to me, just because of how I fight. But it is different when you do step in there and they're so close, and it only takes about 2 trots across there to reach each other when they say go. But I mean, like I said, it still doesn't matter when I fight, but it is weird when you are a lot closer and you do have that distance when you're in the bigger cage versus the smaller cage.
Yeah, and how did this win stack up against your Fluffy Hernandez loss? Because we know that one really hurt, really stung you, and we can tell, obviously, this performance, your last one, what you weren't too happy about. So how would you compare the 2?
I think they're pretty close. I think this one's, I guess, in the grand scheme of things, this one's a little bit less stinging just because of the fact that I still won. But, it's better to learn lessons from a win than a loss. So that's a plus, but they're right around there for me and how I feel like personally outside of winning or losing. This one's way worse just because I'm way better than that. But again, there was a lot of things that happened behind the scene, and probably for him too, and definitely for me, like as far as training and things like that. But it is what it is. Like I said, it's just good to go out there and get a win as well.
Yeah. Fighting aside, how's dad life going?
It's going good, man. It's great. It sucks being away from home, and it hurts. But being here and finally being at a spot in life where I can actually spend time with her when I'm home and see her grow up it's the best thing ever, man. It makes me not want to fight anymore most of the time just because I don't feel like.
So does that, when you get in the octagon, Is it hard to separate mentally, family from fighting? Like, do they ever enter your head when you're in there, or?
In there, no. Camp wise and in the back and everything up until they stage us, 100%. I think of them. I mean, I listen to music that makes me think of them and just keeps driving. It kind of keeps me hungry. But then again, I also have the calmest version of me is the best version of me. So, and I think that was one of the things I kind of liked. Like this fight, I was really calm. I was probably too calm again going into this one. And then, like I said, I was just trying. Every time I hit him, I was trying to put him on his ass every time. And that was my biggest downfall, I think. And I had to learn that lesson. But yeah, I try not to bring anything in the cage with me as far as mentally. It's calm, cool, collected, and try to have fun. But I don't know. It's kind of hard to have fun for me when someone's trying to hurt me.
Yeah, I hear you. I guess, I mean, no one wants to get injured, but I guess the injuries are somewhat of a blessing in disguise. It gives you an excuse to hang out with her more.
Yeah, it's I've kind of been using it. I mean, like right now, I can't. Well, I can lift now, which I just kind of started a little bit last week just to see how my head would take it with pressure and things like that. Now I'm waiting on one other thing to come back, and we'll see how that goes before I can start running and stuff again. But yeah, I'll start lifting again tomorrow and be back to lifting and hopefully running within a couple weeks, hopefully. So, but yeah, it's I definitely use the excuse probably a little too much. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really care. I know when it comes back time, I'll be into it 100%. When I get home, she'll be asleep and most of the days, and it's part of it sometimes. But it's better to be gone right now than when she's old enough to understand.
Absolutely. How are your niece and how's your brother doing?
He's doing good. Me and my friends just left his house. We're out there hanging out. Spent a few hours with them, and they're doing good. It's my niece has been with me the last 2 nights where our friends have been here. We've been hanging out. She likes being around people and seeing different people, and so yeah, it's good. They're good. Everyone's doing well right now, and just happy to be where we're at. Be able to still see each other.
Some of this extra free time, you have any solid hunts coming up, or?
And I've already bought my hunting license for Illinois already. That'll be the weekend before Thanksgiving and the weekend after. So I'm waiting for that. But I don't really hunt for anything else. Just time. Honestly, it's more money. There's not really too much to hunt for around here. I think my friend and I are going to go bow fishing in a couple weeks. But that'll be the first time doing that. But usually we'll hunt for hogs or something. But I'm not going hunting anywhere where there's snakes at. So it ain't happening right now.
Dude, yeah, I do not fuck with snakes. That's not my thing. What are you going bow fishing for?
I have no clue. He literally texted me today and said, "Hey, August 8th, just clear your schedule for that night. We're going bow fishing." I was like, "Yes, sir."
Yeah, no complaints there, man. But that's good. I mean, well, I think I speak on behalf of the three of us. We really appreciate you doing this, bro. Thank you for your time.
I got one more. I got one more for you. Yo, so what happened to the cornrows, man?
I was growing my hair out to cut it off and donate it to we ended up going with a different program. My wife found it, but I was going to donate it to Wigs for Kids for children that have cancer. And obviously, they have no hair because of the chemo. And yeah, I was donating it for that. Finally, had it just long enough, and so yeah. Back to my old self. This is what I normally do, and this is just me. I don't like the long hair. That's not for me.
I hear you, man. Well, again, thank you. I appreciate it. MMA Gossip, we appreciate you big time, man. We'll be rooting for you next time you're out there. And
just bought your shirt, man. It's on the way. It'll be here in probably, quarantine. Who knows? Maybe 2 weeks, maybe 2 months. But it'll be here. I know it.
Yeah, man. And for sure, my wife gets all those. And yeah, man, thank you so much. We really appreciate the support from you and everyone else, man. We really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Yeah, thanks for being on the show. We're going to probably put this out in a matter of hours. And, be good, Brendan. We'll see you soon, brother. Hope to see you heal up soon. See you back in the cage.
Thank you, fellas. I appreciate it. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you, bro.
You, man. Have fun. See you later.
Thank you, man.